Social media of Packers players calling for the team to re-sign linebacker Clay Matthews. Rodgers posted a picture of Matthews with the caption, "Bring him back." Despite the strong support from the players, Packers GM Brian Gutekunst says the team has had no discussion about bringing back the linebacker. Shannon, should they give in to Rodgers and sign Clay Matthews? What's going on?
Hell no. If this ain't no class reunion, no family reunion, we bring people back to get together because we haven't seen you in a long time. You want to see Clay Matthews? I think he's out here in California. Drop by and pay him a visit. But the Packers let him go for a reason. If they thought he could continue to play, they would have kept him. He's been out of football. Nobody picked him up last year. I thought he had a decent season with the Rams. His one and only year with the Rams. He had 8 sacks in 13 games. That's not bad. But for whatever reason, nobody called him last year. For whatever reason, no one has called him this year.
Have not.
So, but look, this ain't about no getting the band back together. Because I believe Brian Gutekunst and the Packers believe getting the band back together, he can no longer sing and he can't play an instrument. So, nah, the band is moving on. We got somebody else to fill. That's why they got the Smiths, Zadarius and Preston. That's why they took Rashawn Gary. So they feel very comfortable with the linebacker position and the play they've gotten from it. Zadarius Smith was a top 100 player. He's been a Pro Bowl player. So for me, Skip, this doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I get it. They brought Randall Cobb back. Randall Cobb has an injury history. He's been nicked the better part of his career. He was nicked last year, had, 30-something catches for 400 yards? They've appeased Aaron Rodgers. But I'm not all about this sentimentality. This is professional football. I'm trying to win a game. If you want to get together and hang with your friends, go to Kentucky Derby and go to Vegas, do that on your time. But you're not going to do it when I got to pay for the guy, and I don't believe he can help us win.
I am so proud of Shannon Sharp on this show. He just took on LeBron James in the previous discussion, and now he's taking on his man Aaron Rodgers, saying just shut up and sit back and play quarterback, right?
Oh, yeah, it should say, can we take, we're bringing back on a minimum contract. Can we take some of your money and give it to him?
Aha. This was the shock that hit me, was that Rodgers typed these words, as Jenny read, over a photo that he posted of Clay Matthews. He typed in all caps, "Bring him back." Well, that doesn't come across as a request to me. That comes across as either a command or a demand, one or the other, however you want to slice it, because that is strong. Bring him back, Packers, as if Aaron is now flexing his new authority that he gained by, quote-unquote, threatening to hold out or threatening to force a trade.
Skip, this is like a record executive. We already know you got one more album to do, and we're not going to re-sign you. We already know you got one more season here. Nah, we're not acquiescing to any demands.
Interesting. So, Aaron, I said, didn't really pull off what he was trying to pull off, because you thought in the end he would force a trade maybe to your Denver Broncos.
Correct.
Who, both their quarterbacks, I watched some of the game and played okay. Drew Lock looked pretty good in that game.
Minnesota didn't look good at all.
I agree. But the point is, you needed Aaron Rodgers in Denver.
Yes, that would have been very nice.
And I don't think he had designs on going to Denver at all. I think he just wanted to accomplish two things: to turn himself back into a sympathetic figure.
He wanted to be a martyr,
Yeah, a martyr for Packer Nation, because he fell to 1-4 in NFC Championship games and stunk up the fourth quarter of that game. And his coach took the ball right out of his hands on 4th down and said, no, we got to kick a field goal here to cut it to 31-26, because he had stunk it up on 1st down, 2nd down, and 3rd down, once again in a big NFC Championship games. That's back-to-back losses for Aaron Rodgers and company in those games. And he managed to flip the script in the offseason, and he's now back in the great graces of Packer Nation because he was threatening to force his way out of town.
Correct.
So he pulled that off, but he didn't get the money I thought he might get.
Right.
They just said, no, this is what we'll do, and you can leave after next year, when I think they might be happy for him to leave after next year, because I did watch Jordan Love the other day, and he finally banged up
somebody tweaked
his shoulder, and I think he's going to miss their camp practice this week and probably the next game. But I thought he threw some big balls where I sat back and said, wow, that'll work. So I think he still is the future of the Packers. It might be next year, it might be 2 years from now. But maybe he has to sit for 3 years the way Aaron did behind Brett Favre.
But Skip, the Packers can't let just Aaron pick his friends and have them hang out on the team on my dime. Well, I want to put players on the team that I can feel help us win.
They threw him a bone with Randall Cobb, because Randall Cobb played for my Cowboys 2 years ago. was okay.
He's okay.
But he didn't light it up. He didn't change life in Dallas. And to your point, he was nicked last year in Houston and was just kind of also ran.
Right.
Nobody even knew he was playing last year, right? So he got him back. And you have to be careful because what have I always said about players? The greater the player, oftentimes the worse the personnel director. Because who's the ultimate? It's Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
Right.
Greatest player ever in any sport. And he's proven to be, I hate to say it, but I'm pretty sure I can back this up, the worst GM, operator of a franchise in the history of this league.
Well, all might be forgiven. He did get mellow. So that might, he might be forgiven for a little while.
I hope so.
But Skip, but this is pro sports.
Yeah.
This is all about winning. And I get you got friends, but if they can't help me win, what they got to do with anything?
Yeah, and by the way, to finish off the Jordan, I was there when he would just go after Jerry Krause.
Yeah,
You got to go get him.
Oh, he wanted Al Wood. He wanted this guy. He wanted that guy.
And they all seem to have played at North Carolina.
Yes.
Your favorite school, right?
If you think about it, Skip, look what did he do when he got to Washington? He went and got Jerry Stackhouse. He wanted to stay. He wanted Stack.
Yep, I got it. He can coach, though. He can coach my Commodore.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, Skip, this doesn't make any sense to me. If I'm Zadarius Smith, Preston Smith, Rashawn Gary, I'm like, what? We not good enough?
Yeah, that is true. That will create some dissension.
I'm like, what are you talking about? Need him to do what?
Yeah. And again, Clay is 35 years of age.
Yes.
He's probably seen his better days. And he's not even as old as Aaron is. So, again, I think Packer management is sitting back. And this is all aimed at, I'm trying to assert myself and my autonomy and my new authority over Gutekunst. And he's very open about we're trying to fix this relationship, right?
Brian Gutekunst ain't trying to fix it.
Yeah.
He's
He
like,
is
I'm
not.
good.
He said, we have had no discussion.
Exactly.
About Clay
So
Matthews.
that's the way, and I don't think Gutekunst or Mark Murphy has social media, so they're not on it, so they didn't get this. Only people that's on IG were able to see this. I don't think either one of those have IG, so that went unnoticed.
So now in back-to-back topics, Shannon Sharp has criticized LeBron James and Aaron Rodgers. Thank you very much for your objectivity.
Let me ask you a question.
It is blindsiding to me that you're that objective.
How did I criticize LeBron?
What did you have for breakfast?
I just asked you a question.
Honest? You had honest
I had
feelings,
egg whites, chicken, and a burrito. But anyway, that's beside the point, Skip Bayless. How did I criticize LeBron?
Well, you said it's not a natural fit.
It's not.
Yeah.
Okay, but that's not criticizing LeBron.
Well, it is.
But
You
here's
should have just embraced it and said, oh, this is a great move. Because LeBron blessed it.
But that ain't got nothing to do with me, though, Skip. Okay, like I said, he believes it is. I'm looking at the way Russ has played his entire career, looking at the way LeBron plays his entire career. I don't think this is a puzzle that fits.
Okay. The truth is, the first time we ever speculated about this happening, maybe 2-3 weeks back, you backed yourself into a corner because you said this will not work.
I said I don't think it works.
Okay.
I don't.
Okay.
But what gives me like okay, Shannon, maybe I said the same thing about Brooklyn until I saw them actually do it, and I saw guys swallow their pride and their ego to make it work for a common goal.
Yep, I agree.
Can they do that?
Yep. So back to Aaron Rodgers, he did tell Peter King that, and Peter was a little shocked by this, that he thought going into last year it would have been his last year in Green Bay.
Had he not won the MVP, I believe it would have.
I think that worked to Aaron's favor because it took a lot of pressure off him because he just sort of gave up, sat back, and said, I'm just going to enjoy the ride. I'm not going to take anything that seriously. I'm not going to sweat the small stuff. Result, he won the MVP with no pressure.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, first of all, he's Aaron Rodgers. He's always going to have pressure because the expectation is to compete for championships. So that pressure is going to be there because once you win a title, the only thing else that matters is a title. That's why Tom Brady, when you look at Tom Brady's numbers are unimportant. Once you set the standard, it becomes the standard. Championships.
7 is important.
That's it.
8.
So once Aaron Rodgers won a Super Bowl, yeah, the MVP is nice, but he's always going to have that pressure. All these quarterbacks that's won a title, Patrick Mahomes, and because he's won one so early, Skip, that's the expectations every year. And every year he doesn't win a title. They're like, man, he's slipping. Man, I don't know what's gotten into Patrick Mahomes. That's just the way it works, Skip.
From what I've seen of my coach, Mike McCarthy, Aaron winning a Super Bowl with Mike McCarthy, that's even greater than maybe LeBron winning a championship with Russell Westbrook.
Yeah,
right?
hey, you see? You see.
I don't know how that happened, actually.
Yeah, you talk. Oh, I got a made man. No, you got a guy that got made by two other men.
Yeah.
Yeah, he adopted.